Coming to you from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, this is the Quinn Spinn. Hey now, and welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one and all, to a brand new edition of the Quinn Spinn. You like that one? I liked that one. Anyway, I'm your host, Quinn. I'm back here on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Stitcher, and a whole lot more for another rousing and riveting installment of the official podcast of Underground Music Collective. And you just heard Revel 9's All I've Become. That's been our opening theme song here, the Quinn Spinn, since the great year of 2014, and it will be until the very end of days. And I'm back here with another Quinn Spinn solo mission. Very excited to wrap up the first half of 2022. Yes, 2022 is half over. As of today, it is June 30th, as of episode release date. And what a year it's been so far. It feels like it's flown by. January felt like it took about 5 months, but the past 5 months feel like they took 1 month. So yeah, it makes sense that we're about 6 months in. And I'll tell you, I've learned a lot this year. I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about other people. I've learned a lot about running a business. And I want to share what I've learned here because that's what these solo missions are for. They're to highlight the life and times of a creative professional, just trying to show up as a human being here in the landscape of the 21st century. And like I said, this year has been so immensely enriching in terms of knowledge, in terms of life experience, in terms of figuring out how to show up as a better citizen, as a better human, as a better entrepreneur, as a better creative professional. And I actually jotted down some notes here on my phone, so if you're watching this, I will be glancing down once in a while because I have some bullet points here that I'm going to expand upon. But these are the top 5 lessons I've learned here so far in 2022, and perhaps I had learned them before and had to relearn them this year. That's not the point. The point is, life's a journey. It's not linear, and sometimes we need to repeat the lessons that we forget. So I'm going to get into those right now, and I want to hear what yours are in the comments, of course, so feel free to share with us. Lesson number 1, there's power in letting go. I am a recovering people pleaser. I am someone who would hang on and fight for something or fight for someone until the bitter end, right? It's an anxious attachment style thing. If you listened to our episode earlier this year with Lauren Gomez of Soul Fit Counseling, you know that I am a recovering anxious attacher as well. And one thing I realized this year that's very important in relationships with opportunities is that sometimes you just need to let them go and let them be what they are or perhaps are not. To give yourself the peace, to give yourself the respect, to not chase what's not for you, whether it's not for you right now or it's not for you on a more permanent basis. The fact is, the sooner you stop chasing, the sooner you will attract what is for you. And with that, hand in hand, lesson number 2 is sometimes the best thing you can do is walk away. If there's a situation, if there's a person, if there's anything in life that's requiring you to chase, it's requiring you to compromise this sense of self-respect, this sense of self-worth in order to hang around, in order to stay in the picture. If you're being made in any situation to play small outside of your values, the best thing you can do is gain separation, is walk away from that person, situation, job, relationship. And point number 3, walk toward your purpose. The real best thing you can do in this world is live in your purpose. First, you must identify it, walk toward it, live in it, immerse yourself in it. Because once you do that, you are showing up as your true self. You're being authentic. You're being real. And you'll find, as you do this, that you don't have room for anything that's outside of that purpose, that's outside of that vision, that's outside of that world that you want to create, that good you want to do in the world, the people that you want to surround yourself with, the people that you seek to attract, the jobs, the opportunities. The more you are aligned and know what you want in this life, the more you know what you want to put out into the world, the more inclined you will be to do that and to take action on that every single day and to move with purpose toward that vision. The best thing you can do is identify that and walk toward it. Point number 4. Lesson number 4. Neither health nor time are to be taken for granted. Earlier this year, back in February, I did a solo mission. My uncle passed away. He was 76, and he had been in declining health for a long time. And I remember remarking on that episode that seeing this mountain of a man, decline in such a way really made me realize the fragile and finite nature of our time here on earth, right? If you have health, if you have good health, that is something to wake up grateful every day for. If you want to improve your health, if you want to improve the quality of your life, take those steps. Eat better. Exercise. Get out, get moving, get out from behind your screens. Of course, if you want to take this podcast on a walk or a run, I won't blame you for that. But the point is, do everything you can to not only extend your years, but extend the quality of those years, because we never know when they're going to run out. And we are here to make the most of our time. Each one of us has an opportunity, a 400 trillion to 1 chance, I think it is, to even be born. We have no time to waste. When you realize how precious life is, when you realize how precious health is, you realize that we have no time to waste. And, it's not just seeing my uncle pass. It's seeing other relatives pass over the years. It's seeing folks that have had debilitating injuries or illnesses prevent them from living the lives that they were once living. If you have your health, it's not to be taken for granted. If you have your youth, it's not to be taken for granted. Make the most of it and use it to walk toward that purpose we talked about in lesson number 3. Lesson number 5. This is the last one for this episode. People who live in their truth are to be celebrated. What does that mean? Well, I touched on this on the last solo mission. A lot of folks want to show up more authentically, want to move toward their purpose, want to live according to their values, but they're afraid. They're afraid of judgment. They're afraid of rejection. They're afraid, what if this person doesn't like me? What if this goes against what my industry says is the right thing to do? What if this is unconventional and nobody gets it? It doesn't matter. Is it in line with your truth? Is it in line with your values? Is it in line with your story and the story that you want to put out into the world to inspire others? Because if it is, you must walk fearlessly in that direction. And it's difficult because we are conditioned in this society to play by the rules. We are conditioned in this society to not ruffle any feathers, to just do what we're supposed to do. It's I've talked about this on the show all the time. It's the whole, go to school so you can get a good job and then get married, have the house, the kids, and everything. And that's the picture of success. Well, success is different for all of us. And I'm not knocking having a house or a wife or kids. I want all of those things myself. But you don't have to get them according to somebody else's timeline. You don't have to go out and get them if it's not what you feel is right for you in this moment. And so many people are afraid to take that step against what's been conventional in their families, in their communities, or the communities they grew up in at least. And that leads people to play small. That leads people to sacrifice their values and to lose that sense of identity of what makes them them. Happens to all of us at some point. So the people who push past that and the people who are able to live fearlessly in their truth and fearlessly tell their stories and be who they are in the world and not give a flying shit about who's judging them for it, that's bravery. That's to be celebrated. And if that fits you, if that description fits you, I celebrate you and I appreciate you. And I strive to be more like you. So those are my 5 lessons that I've learned so far in 2022, and I can't wait for what the rest of this year holds. I'm super excited. We've got a lot cooking up here at the Quinn Spinn, at Underground Music Collective, just all across the board. Nash Live, of course. And it's because we believe in living our truth. We believe in serving our community, and we're going to continue doing that here. So I hope you'll join us for the ride, and I hope you'll follow the Quinn Spinn on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Stitcher, and more. You can also learn more about the show on YouTube, on the Underground Music Collective YouTube channel, as well as at undergroundmusiccollective.com, our central hub for all things independent music, creativity, community, and more. Follow the UMC 20 playlist on Spotify. 20 fresh tracks of fire every single week, plus the latest episode of the Quinn Spinn is a bonus track at the end. I'm not renaming it UMC 21, though, because it's not as catchy as UMC 20. Also, you can learn more about what's going on around here in Nashville at nashlive.live. We've got shows coming up. More to come, more to be announced, so stay tuned for that. Revel 9's All I've Become, going to take us out just like it brought us in. I'll see you next time. Hey now.